Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Put this bad boy right here. Check, check, check. Hold on 1 second. Audio may be a little low. Settings. 1 second. Okay, cool. We good. We good. All right. There we go. All right. Out. All right. So today, since we have turn this up. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Mic check. Check, check. There we go. All right. So since we have young man Chris here, it would make no sense to go over all this elaborate Hebrew stuff, and my brother don't even have a base understanding of the letters. All right. I left my markers in the car. Give me 1 sec. All right. Don't worry about that. I got a whole handout for you, bro. You'll be able to take that with you. All right. Can't teach class without no markers, man. All right. So what we're going to do today, we're going to give a base understanding of the alphabets and historically where they come from. All right. So, email. I ain't got to do that. One second. Email. All right. Okay. So, turn this right here so people online can kind of see. All right. So, just give you a basic, brief understanding. All right. So, to modern day, there are 3 different types of Hebrew. Right. You have the ancient Hebrew, which is Paleo, which is Phoenician Hebrew, which is from the Canaanite area. So this is like from Abraham's time all the way up to the Assyrian captivity, right? And then during the Assyrian captivity, right, the Hebrew was changed, right, to Assyrian Hebrew, right? So like prime example. So our language was adopted to the predominant Pidgin language of the time, right? So during Abraham's time, the trading language was Phoenician Hebrew, right? You can just really just call it Phoenician, right? Because this is a Canaanite language, right? The reason why that language was adopted is because when Abraham left his father's house in Mesopotamia, he came and dwelt among the Canaanites. All right. And then later on, the entire world, not just us, was under an Assyrian captivity. That was the ruling dominant power. Just like today, the majority of the world speaks English, right? That's because the United States is a world power, right? So if you speak Chinese, she speaks Dutch, and she speaks, you know what I'm saying? Speak Bush, right? We can't understand each other. We can use a common tongue, which is a pidgin language, and today's modern pidgin language is English. All right. So, and then you have modern Hebrew, which is Yiddish, which is a Slavic Germanic tongue. So they took the Assyrian and they added quotes, those little dots at the bottom of them, to give a Germanic pronunciation to the word, because the people of Yiddish, they come from the Caucasus Mountains, right? So that is a Germanic, Slavic area. So they made adaptations so that they can be able to understand and be able to speak the language easily. So the modern Yiddish uh, is not the Hebrew that was spoken in antiquity. All right. So I'm going to give you some basic breakdowns dealing with the language. All right. So let me make my little chart. All right. So our chart is going to be broken down into 5 sections. So you're going to have the Hebrew alphabet, the actual name of the alphabet, the sound the alphabet makes, the definition, and the illustration in which the alphabet came from to give you an understanding, right? So before we start this, put yourself in a mindset of antiquity, right? In antiquity, we use same thing we use today. We use illustrations to describe sounds, right? Okay, so this is how this language came to be. All right, and you're gonna understand when I start breaking it down. Okay, all right. So for our first alphabet, right, we have the Ah. All right. So I'm going to do Assyrian to the left. I'm sorry, Paleo to the left and Assyrian to the right. All right. So we have the Ah. All right. So the actual name of this alphabet is Aleph, right? Okay. But when we teach it, we just teach the sound to help you out phonetically, right? So what sound does it make? The Aleph, it makes ah. All right. The definition of this alphabet is power or authority. All right. And the illustration that it came from is an ox. Right? Well, how do we get ox? Right? So look. That's the ox's head. That's his horns. Right? So when the ox rolls upon you, he's like, ah, right? You know, ox, when he come through, you know what I'm saying? It is mighty, it is powerful, right? So the illustration of the ancient language is the formation of an ox head, right? Okay. All right. So to give you a couple of words, well, I'll let's see. Well, I get to I should be able to get to it. All right. So that's the first alphabet. All right. The second one, I'm going to give you examples showing. Matter of fact, I could do one right quick. All right. So, and then also, right. So, or Aleph, right, means power or authority, right? Coincidentally, the prefix means I or I am, right? Because the power comes from you, right? Okay. Also, the word for God in the Bible is Allah, right? So the first letter, right, in Allah, right, all right, means power, right? It's written right, yeah. So Hebrew is written from right to left, right? So we read from right to left in Hebrew, right? But I'm just writing the definitions just so you can understand. But when you write in Hebrew, when you write a Hebrew sentence, it's from right to left. We read from right to left. All right. So Allah, so this word right here, all right, so the means power. Just to give you a quick breakdown, we're gonna get to all of them. All right. La means to shepherd. Right, I always spell shepherd. Shepherd. Hey, look, when I be spelling Wednesday, I be like Wednesday. Oh. All right. Where was I? Sorry. No, it means to teach. Means to reveal. All right. So just to show you from an alphabetical standpoint, like breaking down the word God in Hebrew, Allah, right? Each alphabet has its own definition. So we know right, means power or authority, right? La in definition means teach, Ha means to reveal. So Allah or God, right, in the language means the power to teach and to reveal. That's what God would do, right? So, when people be like, I praise Allah or I praise God, right? What power or authority do you serve and what do they teach you to reveal to you? Because Not all gods are the Most High God, right? So just because it's a power or authority to teach and reveal something to you, what is it teaching you? What is it revealing to you, right? The scripture says that you are to test every spirit. All right, okay. So just to give you like a quick,
the lines underneath, is that necessary?
So these here, these are just connectors to help you understand, right?
But is that something that you use when you write?
In the paleo, yes. It's to help you enunciate the words, right? And I didn't write what each of those mean. I'll write it right here. All right. So when you see a closed parentheses, all right. Need more room. I'll write it over here. And you just write it in your notes, so I'm gonna erase it. All right, when you see the closed parentheses, same sound as the alphabet, right? When you see an open parentheses, connect the sound of alphabet. All right. So if this connected with these letters just being, it would just be Allah, right? So remember this one, right? You make it the same sounds as sounds alphabet. So that's ah, right? But you have a la and a ha right here. These two are connected, right? So when the la and the ha is connected, or whatever two letters are connected, the ah sound on the last letter that's connected drops off. So this is just Allah, because doesn't make a noise, right?
So it's like a silent, right? Like
right.
When you have a silent letter.
Right. Okay. So write that in your notes, because I'm about to erase it, because I don't have room to keep it up here. Should have made room for it. All right. So this was just to give you a quick example of how you can really go deep into the scriptures, right? So you can read the entire scripture, know the definitions, and you can go in each word letter by letter to see how the definition comes about to describe the word. All right. So you have Allah, which is the Allah, and the Ha, which is the power to teach and reveal. All right. And as we move on, I'll give you more examples of words. All right, that includes these things. All right. All right. Next. All right, we have the Ba. All right. The name of the alphabet is Bayet. And these are Yiddish names, by the way. I'm just giving them to you just so you can have them for your notes. The sound that it makes is Ba. All right. And it means house, family, or inn. All right. And the illustration, all right, is the floor plan of a tent. All right. Now, to show you how, all right, I'm going to draw it large here. All right. So I'm gonna get my architecture on. All right. All right, just to show you how it's the floor plan of a tent. All right, this is an architecture what we would call a isometric drawing. Another color. All right. So these are the walls of the house. All right. So you can see this is the door where you come in. All right. This is the place where they sleep, and there would be like a little pitch that would be go over this or whatever. Right. So inside of a home or a house is what? Family. Right. Okay. All right. So, and coincidentally, ba as a prefix means in, right? Okay. As in to enter, right? So, which comes from in, place where you come in to sleep or rest. All right. So this is how that letter came about, right? So they basically drew a floor plan of what a tent would look like, right? So you'd have like an entryway for a tent, and then where you would sleep right here. All right.
That's so basic.
It is.
It's like that's what they call it an inn. An inn.
Right. Right.
Like the Holiday Inn.
Mm-hmm.
It's an inn where you go for the holiday.
Facts. Facts. That simple. All right. Let's go to the next one. All right. We have the Ga. All right, which is Gimel is the name. All right, the definition for it is to gather or walk. All right. The illustration that it came from is a bush, right? Because if you put it, I'll give you a little stick figure, man. That's his foot. All right. All right. So that's where the illustration for the God came from. All right. Because remember, the illustrations back then were basic. All right. And what do you do on your foot? You walk or you go to gather things. All right. All right. Up next, we have the Da. right. The name of this letter is the Dalet. When I say name, these are Yiddish names. All right. The sound that it makes is Da. All right. Okay. And it means to move, hang, and entrance. All right. And the illustration it comes from is a door. All right. Because imagine a tent. All right. That's the front of a tent. All right. Of course, the tent has to have a door. All right. And the door is the same pitch and angle of a tent. All right. All right. So to give you an example, right? Since we have two letters that make up a word, all right. We have the bar. All right. Where's okay. All right. So we have duh, buh, and ruh, right? So duh, all right. In this case, I use my red marker. Means to move. All right. Buh is house or family. In this case, we're going to say in. All right. And then, I'll put it under each of the letters here. So we have duh, which is to move. All right. Buh, in. And then ruh is top, beginning, or head. All right. To move in head. What moves inside of your head? Your tongue. Right? What does your tongue form? Words. Right? The bar means word in Hebrew. Right? But when you break it down letter by letter, to move in head. Right? Talk to yourself as well. Words move in your head. Your tongue moves. Words come out your head. All right? And also, you can break it down to move family, right? To move family in the beginning, right? The word. In the beginning was the word. The word was with God. In the beginning, the word was God. All right. All right. So you can have to move in beginning, right? All right. So when it says in the beginning was the word, that's literally what that is. All right. Because that's how everything started. The Lord said, and let there be light. Right. So in the beginning was the word, right? It was a commandment. All right. So the next letter that we have, we have the ha. Wrong color, brother. Wrong color. We using blue, not the red. This is the hey. All right, the sound that it makes is huh, right? And it means to look, reveal, or breathe. All right. And it literally comes from the illustration is man with arms raised. All right. To give you a understanding the illustration, stick man again. All right. Them his hands. All right. Okay. So the man raised his hands. All right. Okay. I'm gonna move on to the next one. We have the wah. Wah. All right. In Yiddish, it's called two things. It's called the vav or the wa. Each are acceptable, and the sound that it makes is wa. All right. And it means to add, secure, or hook. All right. And the illustration it came from is a peg. All right. Y'all know what a peg is. It's that thing that you used to put up under your shoulder. That had the hook here and the hook here. You use it to walk. It's a crutch, right? So this is where you would set your armpit on, and you would use it to walk with. All right. All right. Next one we're gonna do is za. All right. Which is the letter name is Zayin. The sound that it makes is za. All right. It means definition, food, cut, or to nourish. illustration is a plow, a hoe, all right. Just in case you don't know what a plow looks like, the old plows back in the day, all right. All right. So the old plows back in the day, you had a plow on one side and you had a sickle on the other side. So you had a sharp edge to plow straight lines with, and you had a sickle on the back end to harvest and either to cut down grass or to harvest wheat, corn, or your crop, and you come through chopping. All right. All right. So by both of those things, you either are cutting to nourish or gather food. All right. So I want you to make sure that you have these initial illustrations down. Take a picture of it so you can have it in your notes. Just in case you weren't able to copy everything down. Before I move on, I'm gonna try and do one more section.
You gave us 2 examples of the illustration.
Say that one more time.
You give us 2 examples of the illustration.
What? A plow or a hoe?
No, the actual outfit. You give us the second example, right? We use the OG, right? So I don't really have to write down the other one.
No, you have to write down the other one. So this is the reason why you have to write down the other one is because if you go to the store to buy your Torah or your Tanakh, all right, it's going to be in Assyrian, right? It's not going to be in the Paleo, right? But there are old manuscripts. So like if you were to pull, like if you were to go online and you were to look up the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? The Dead Sea Scrolls aren't in Assyrian, they're in Paleo, right? So this is how you're going to be able to get to the point where you're able to read for yourself, right? Because one of my favorite movies, growing up as a child, like me and my dad, like we were huge Indiana Jones fans. And my favorite Indiana Jones movie was Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? Now, being in the truth and going back and watching that movie, it was so heavy because I was able to read the stuff that was on the talismans when he was walking on the floor. I was able to read the message. It's so many hidden messages in that movie. Another movie that got a lot of hidden messages in Hebrew, but in the Assyrian is what's your boy? Sherlock Holmes. Right? Like when he was dealing with the occult master masons and all that stuff, he was going in their back rooms. It was Hebrew everywhere, right? When he made that signia on the ground, right? That sigil on the ground, it was Hebrew carved around it in the Assyrian, right? So this is Assyrian right here.
I was at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
And my battery died.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just I just got ready, posted up McDonald's, so everybody's rushing.
Right.
I just waited at my car, And black man pulled up on me, and he helped me out. But he had 3 Assyrian letters on his arm.
It was probably Chaya or Chai, which means life. Yeah.
Because I asked him about it, he's like, oh, that's so strange. He said, kind of dismissed it, but I know.
So all right, so I'm gonna give you a feather to put in your hat, right? So when you see someone that has Hebrew tattoos on them, right? It,
It looks like new.
right. It could be one or two things, right? You know, somebody at one point was really trying to be into the Bible, or you're coming across someone that is in the occult, right? And they have a seal literally tattooed on their body. Come across them all the time. You know what I'm saying? And when you can read Hebrew and you read what that seal says on them, the conversation that you have with them is extremely interesting because they don't expect the average person to be able to understand that.
He made it because
And I'm pretty sure when you made reference to it, he started acting weird.
he did.
Yeah.
Oh, can you read it?
Yeah. See? You know what I'm saying? Knowledge is power, right? So, and 9 times out of 10, you ever read that seal or that sigil, you also know what type of demon you're dealing with as well, right? So, Hebrew is a fire tongue. What I mean by that, it is not a flattering tongue. If I would give you an example of how Hebrew sounds in English, it would be like when the Native Americans first learned English. Like I would say, I would ask my sweetheart if you would do me the honor of coming and sit next to me. No, they would be like, woman, come now, sit here. Right? When you translate the Hebrew, it's a brutish tongue, it's a savage tongue, right? Because it's known as a in the occult circles, it's known as a fire language because it's very brutish, it's very savage. It's not if you could do me the honor of escorting me to the restaurant, it was like, come, piss. You know what I'm saying? I must go. You know what I'm saying? It's very brutish. All right. So, when he said that to you, that's why he actually he's like, can you read it? You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, when people say something like that, they'll look at you like this, kind of with
exactly what they can.
Right.
He said, can you read or can you understand? That's what he said.
Yeah.
But he did give me that exact same.
Yeah. So this is a double-edged sword, right? So you are learning your language, but Hebrew and Latin are the two number one languages that people in the occult use to cast spells. All right. So that lets you know, just like in the Bible, it says there's power in the name, right? But what name are you calling on? You understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's very important. People be like, well, why do y'all say Yahweh instead of God? Because that's the name that's in the Bible, right? If I say, God help me, what God you talking to? Right? You talking to Shiva, you talking to Krishna, you know what I'm saying? You talking to Allah, you talking to Oludumare, you talking to Yimiya, Obatala, you know what I'm saying? You talking to Oshun. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You talking to Zeus, you talking to Apollo, you talking to Eric, you talking to Hermes, you talking to Tahuti, you talking to what's the other one? It don't even matter. I was about to go through some Egyptian gods, right? But it's important for you to know the name of your power because everybody on this earth has a power that they call upon, right? The thing is that they stole our power from us and made us ignorant to where we didn't know the name of our power to call on for our help. And that's how we got cut off. So that's why it's important for you to know your language. All right. So what I want you to do, I want to make sure you guys take a picture of this before I erase this section. I'm gonna do one more section, and then we'll pause there. All right. So y'all got your pictures, you got your notes. Right on. Where your notebook at? She ain't even have to drive today, y'all.
Hold on.
Right on. I mean, you went back in the house.
For the stuff that you needed, sir.
I'm
in the house for you, right, sir?
You should have went in the house for us.
No.
All right. Our little lines there, it'll make it easier. But language is important. There's nothing that you can do on this earth without audible sound, right? These are just sounds that have very powerful meanings. And you'll be very surprised if you pray to the Most High in your language, right? The outcome that you will get, right? Because you're doing your due diligence, right? And honoring the old ways. So don't let these heathens use your power, right? Because what the scripture says, the kingdom of heaven is where? Kingdom of heaven is inside of you, right? Your body is the temple of the Most High God, all right? So you have to know how to speak to the Lord within your temple, all right? So language is vital, is quintessential, paramount. Those are just big words for very important. All right. All right, as it stopped off at Za. All right, the next one we're going to do is Ha. All right. His name, the Hit. All right. And the sound that it makes, all right, is Ha. Like you're hocking up a loo. You're like, Ha, Ha, Ha. All right. All right. The definition that it gives is outside. All right. Here you go. Divide. All right. Or half. The illustration is a wall. All right. How do we get that? Let me show you. All right. Get my architecture on. All right. All right. A wall. All right. That's where the symbol came from. All right. What does a wall do? A wall divides. It makes things, splits things in half. Right. Lets you know whether you're inside or outside. All right. So that is the Hebrew symbol for ha. Right. It comes from a wall. Right. It's literally where the symbol came from. That's your 2 lines on the outside and your 3 lines inside. Right. Okay.
What's the sound again?
Ha, ha. Like you're hocking up a loogie, like ha, 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 ha.
So if I were to say Huzzah,
Huh?
if I were to
Like
say-
prime example, like Captain Khatazah. Most people be like Katazah, but it's not Katazah, it's Khatazah. Right? Which is arrow in Hebrew.
So if I were to say, all right, I don't know what it means, right? I don't know. So za, right? Food, cut, nourish. So I would say za, I mean cut the wall, destroy the wall, bring the wall down.
That's actually a word. I'll tell you what the actual word means. Get off the Wi-Fi. Get off the Wi-Fi. All right. So chazah, right, means and it's the cha, the za, and the ha, right? Means to gaze at, to perceive, to contemplate, a vision of, right? So, all right. So, uh, we know one of the definitions for the ha is outside, right? So you're looking out at something, right? And then the za, all right, means food, cut, or nourish, right? You are nourished by what you're seeing outside of the wall, all right? And then the ha means to look or reveal, right? So you're looking outside for it to reveal what could possibly nourish you.
So you're like, yeah, absolutely.
Right. So the words themselves define themselves. This is how heavy the language is, right? So think about how heavy this is. So in Hebrew, we spoke in parables, right? So let's just say
Another word for when you're contemplating something, people say, I'm digesting it.
exactly.
Nourishing.
Right. Exactly.
That's fucking wild.
Right. No, it's heavy, bro. Like Hebrew for like we're the only people on this earth where we could say something and make it describe something else, right? Like prime example, ain't nothing slick to a can of oil, or the pot called a tea kettle black, right? What? I mean, are you talking? What is a pot and a tea kettle? What are you saying, right? But what I'm saying is, like, who you talking to? We both the same. You know what I'm saying? So, but within those words that's used in that sentence, it defines the sentence. You know what I'm saying? It defines exactly what I'm saying.
Like in Spanish, there's a lot. So many in Spanish.
Right.
Like one. El que se fue a la villa perdió su silla. Whoever left to the valley has lost his seat. So, like, if you were, well, one of the prime example would be somebody sitting in your seat. It would be, hey, you left, it's mine now.
Right. Okay. Or how we say in our community, seat check. You know what I'm saying? Or que sera, sera. You know what I'm saying? Whatever will be, will be. You know what I'm saying? So, but within the words, it's like if I took a sentence in Hebrew and I broke down every word, that sentence will mean exactly what I broke down in the words in Hebrew. That's how heavy this language is. It's so many layers to it. That's why it's so powerful. That's why it's such a brutish, savage tongue, because even though I'm saying, woman, come now, sit here, right? It's so many levels to that, right? And then within the levels of that, there's pitch and tone, how I say it, right? So, yeah. Now it gets heavy, bro. It gets real heavy. All right. So next we have the top, or as I like to call the X-Men symbol. All right. The name for it is Tet. All right. The sound it makes is ta. Ta 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 ta.
Blah, blah, blah.
All right, which means to surround, contain, all right, or mud, all right. And the illustration of it is a basket, all right. I mean, it literally looks like a basket, all right.
It's funny because Ted was my mom's nickname.
It was Ted was your mama nickname?
You know, they said,
Is there a meaning behind Ted?
it's just weird, man.
Look, I tell people all the time.
That's how you know we know who we are, because like this is the truth, bro. Like what are the odds that my mama's nickname was Ted?
Right. And then we like a lot of our names that we use are Hebrew names. Like, for example, like her name is Manacha, which is Monica, right? It's a Hebrew name, right? Okay. So the illustration for the ta, all right, is literally a basket. All right.
And what?
Basket.
Oh, basket.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yes, ma'am.
What's that S word up there? Is that supposed to be surround?
Oh, you put a D on it. My bad. Damn. I can't get nothing past y'all at all, boy. Well, keep me on my P's and Q's. All right. So, what does a basket do? A basket surrounds whatever's in it, right? It also contains. Also, they used to use baskets to mud for gold, right? So you go in there, you shake it out, right? So you can find you a gem, right? Some gold, some silver, whatever minerals, you know, you sift with it. All right? Sifter. All right. Okay. All right. Next up, we have Yah. All right. The name of it is Yud. The Yud sound it makes is Yah. All right. It is to work it, bring it, throw, make, or praise. All right. And the illustration is armed and closed hand.
No fist.
All right. Okay. Because what do you do with your hands? You work. You have to close your hand to work, to grab something, right? You also have to close your hand to throw something, right? Right? You also have to close your hands when you're making something, right? Also, when you praise, they'd be like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or as we say it, Kwam Yashala. So Kwam Yashala is be closed. Praise. You know what I'm saying? Rise Israel. Right? Also, coincidentally, the first letter in the Most High's name is Yah. The informal name of the Most High, which we do not use, is Yah. So the one person in the Bible that called the Most High Yah, and that was David. You ain't him, don't do it.
So like the Rastas,
Yeah.
they say yeah. I mean,
Well, they say
yeah,
Jah, but yeah.
That's what they mean.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll write it down here so there's more room. All right. So this is the name of the Most High. It's Yahweh. All right. Okay. All right. If we break it down one letter at a time, we have Yah. All right, which is praise. All right. Ha is to reveal. Wa is secure. Or add. I'll put add above. And then you have ha again, which means reveal or breath. All right. So you can use it interchangeably. You can use. I'll reverse it, so it should be actually reversed. All right. So each letter in the Most High's name, all right. So you have Yah. Yah means to praise, right? How do you praise? With your breath, right? To add or secure and reveal, right? So the Most High God, through you praising Him, He protects you. Either he adds to you, He protects you or secures you, or He reveals things to you. Crazy how that's all in a name. That's everything that the Most High does. That's everything that you do to the Most High. All right? And then you can use the other words, right? So another word for Yah is work, right? Work through breath to add, secure, or reveal, right? When you call on the Lord, it's work, right? Because 9 times out of 10, you're in distress, right? You're in need of something. You're in supplication, making supplication unto the Lord for Him to work on your behalf to add or secure something or to reveal something to you, right? There is power in the name. This is the name of your power, Yahweh. All right? Huh? I was writing fast. It's praise. 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 Add. So the wa means to add or secure. And then the last one is reveal. All right. But Chris, now you starting to see what I'm saying, how like the words literally define themselves. All right. Okay. All right. To the next one. All right, we got the ka. All right, which is kaf is the name. Sound it makes is ka. All right. Which means to bend, open, allow, or tame. All right. And the illustration is a open palm. All right. Just to show you. All right. Open palm. Right. You know, you got them lines in your hand, in your palm. All right. What do you do with your palm? Right. You bend things. Yeah, you do that too. You do that too. Right. Right. You open things with your palm. Right. You push things open. Right. You allow things with your palm. Yes, you may. Right. And you tame things with your palm. You know what I'm saying? That yeah. That that Kia. Yeah. All right. So its illustration is the palm. All right. All right. The next one is la. La 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 la.
Stop.
All right. Its symbol. I mean, its name is Lamed. Sound is la. All right. It means to teach. Yoke.
Okay, right. So we have a good time, right?
Hold on 1 second. Bind.
What?
Or
I think I messed up there, didn't you? Or wait, where am I?
No, we did, y'all. Ka, la.
no, I didn't mess up.
You put lot in both places. Not the symbol.
Oh, you
Oh.
put the symbols.
I mean, technically, I didn't mess up because that's in Hebrew.
0.5 on one side.
Technically, I didn't mess up.
I'm trying to see who's gonna catch it.
You know what I'm saying,
Oh, you put mistakes up there on purpose.
yeah. See if y'all thinking. Mhm. All right, and the illustration is a shepherd's staff.
So what's the name of it again? Lament?
That's the Yiddish name of the alphabet, Lamed. But we just go by, we just name them by the sounds. La, right?
Okay.
All right. So when we go through the alphabets, right, we just Abagada Hawaza Hata Yaka Lamana Tasai iPod Nataza Quata Raza. Sorry, Rashata. Right. So we do it based off of the sound, right? Because we want to be as far away from our Yiddish counterparts as possible. All right. So this the law, it came from the shepherd staff. So you know the shepherd staff was straight, then it had that crook at the end, right? And what is the crook used for? It's to yoke, right? To grab, bring your butt back in his herd, right? To teach, right? They would teach the sheep with the shepherd staff, right? To bind down your enemies, right? So when a wolf would come up against the herd of the flock, it would use the shepherd staff to hook it up and beat it up, right? And then toward, right? To shepherd, to usher, right? So that's what that means, right? And we already went over that when we broke down the word Allah. All right. Okay, next up, we have Ma. All right, the Yiddish name for it is Mem. Sound it makes is Ma. All right, which means chaos. Mighty blood. All right, and it comes from the illustration of water. Right, I'm gonna show you how heavy this is. All right, okay, all right. Water can be mighty, it can be calm. Then your blood in your body is made up of water. We as human beings, we are made up of 80% water. All right. That's why when you dehydrate, you feel you about to die.
Oh, you know what? It looks like waves.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So the symbol literally looks like waves, right? So now let's give you an example of a word, right? All right, we have the Hebrew word Amah, right? Which is the word for mother, right? All right, Amah.
Yeah, it makes, that's how it makes it say mom.
Exactly.
That's how you know.
Exactly. Right. All right. Amah is mother. Now we're gonna break this down. All right, letter by letter. Right. So we know that right, is power or authority. All right. Okay. Ma, blood. All right. And reveal. All right. every year a woman has powerful or mighty blood that reveals her cycle. Right? Alma. All right.
Yes.
Go ahead. I mean, y'all get powerful and mighty on during that time.
Right.
But I mean, also through your blood, a child is revealed. Right? When you give birth, you know, get messy down there.
Either way.
Be all types of fluids down there. You know what I'm saying? Think you pushing the child out, you pushing the turd out. You know what I'm saying? Right? But yes, you are absolutely right. Right? In Spanish, right? Same thing, right? All the languages are connected. When you know the history of linguistics, like Hebrew, so you have Sanskrit, right? You have Phoenician Hebrew, you have Assyrian Hebrew, you have Greek, you have Latin, right? And then you have Aramaic, right? So you'll see a little bit of everyone's language in here, right? Because there's some words that we use in Hebrew that are the exact same, almost definition where you get a word from in English. The same thing in all languages. They're all tied together. All right. That's just to show you how the letters define the word. All right, we're going to do one more, and then we're going to pause here for the day. All right, next one we're going to do is na 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 na. All right, going to do the na. All right, the Yiddish name for it is the nun. Sound it makes is na. All right, which means to contain. All right. It also means in air, as in child or son. All right. Okay. The illustration that it comes from a sprouting seed. All right. Let's give you an illustration. All right. The seed sprouts from underground to get one leaf. All right. So that's the leaf right there. Right. So it sprouted from underground to make a leaf. Right. And what sprouts up? Children, heirs. All right. So we're gonna pause right here. We'll do the rest of the letters next week. And defining them and breaking them down. What I want you guys to do is, if you don't have them all in your notes, make sure you take a picture of this. All right. just so you can have for your record, just in case you couldn't write fast enough, right? And if you are online, my famous saying is be kind and rewind. All right? Come on up here, Chris. Go ahead and take a picture, man, while I close out class. All right? Thought this would be very important for your first Hebrew class, for you to get understanding. All right. Okay. And with that, all right, we'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh, Shem Yahweh, Brakathum, to the brothers and to the sisters. Shalom, Yahweh, Shema, Thaba, Shem Yahweh. And we go. All right. Boom.